Well, it's been a very wild first week of the latest Hearthstone expansion, and there has been a lot of variety, as is like obvious. Like every time there's a new expansion, everyone plays everything. However, one deck has standed above all of them, and it is the OwlTK WL or OwlTK Warlock. So, first of all, why is it called OwlTK? Because you OTK your opponent with an owl, but as you can see, that rattle only deals 8 to a random enemy. So how do you OTK? Well, not directly with the owl, but you will need to kill your owl some way or another, one way or another. And then when it's done, you can just fill your board very easily with like Wicked Shipment. Use Tamsin's Phylactery to give the owl's death rattle to all of your board, and then kill all of your board. And if your opponent has nothing on the board, or like if you only have 4 creatures that die and your opponent has nothing on the board, you will deal 32 damage. So that's a very easy OTK. And well, I'm not sure it's a real deck, I'm not sure it's gonna stick, but it is definitely one of the best ones for now. So now that you know about the combo, what about the rest of the deck? It's very easy. It is very easy, just like kind of like the old Quest Warlock. Your goal will be to draw your entire deck. Your key card is definitely the Ruined Mithril Rod. If you put it on 4 and it's not destroyed, you can just play your entire deck, draw everything, and then get your combo going as early as possible. So you deal with the board, you heal yourself, you draw, and when you can one-shot them, you do it. So it's definitely not an easy deck to play, but I highly recommend trying it if you can, because there are 2 new legendaries in Warlock and you will need to play both of them. So Tamsin is really cool because the hero power is drawing without dealing 2 to yourself, and also having 3/3s to fill your board, to use the Phylactery, so that's great. And also even the Battle Cry is great because you can, that's exactly your game plan. You draw 3 cards, you can get 3 3/3s, and you deal 3 damage to all minions, so that's really what you need. So if you can, craft it. But yeah, overall, the plan is simple: draw, survive, one shot. So also very important, you will need to kill your owl yourself, so that if people polymorph it, hex it, anything, you would rather, like, to be sure, just put it on the board and use your Grimoire of Sacrifice. You want to make sure it dies so you can use the Phylactery. So what is this deck weak to? Well, for what I've just told you about, Mutanus. If your owl is eaten by Mutanus, or if it's like it dies from the, like it disappears from the hand one way or another, you overdraw it, anything, escape concede. You cannot win the game anymore. You have no win conditions, 0 damage, you cannot do anything. Maybe win the tempo game with the 3/3s, but that's a stretch. The next biggest threat is the Vipers. The Rustwrath Vipers, which will destroy your Ruined Mithril Rods, which are kind of the core of your deck. But unfortunately, you cannot do much about this, so you better pray they don't have it, and you better pray you have your weapon. You can still win without the weapon, but it's gonna take a lot of time. And if you get your weapon early, you can combo them very early, and no one can beat you, basically. Outside of this, your biggest weaknesses are the Trogs, the dreadful Trogs, which I will probably cover in the next episode, because you're gonna have a lot of trouble dealing with them if they are buffed. With that out of the way, I think we're done with the deck. You will obviously mulligan for stuff like Tour Guide and some other early draw like Backfire, and if you're against aggro, you will keep like Touch of the Netherzen, Multicore, like that depends on your opponent, but yeah, try to keep in mind what your opponent wants to achieve, and if they are aggro, you keep everything to deal with their board, because this is what matters in the early game. And if you're in Mirror, well, you should keep your 1 Viper to destroy their rod, just in case. So, I think that was the longest introduction I've done in a while. I hope I've covered everything, but I will probably see other things in game. Let's do this. Let's do a quick game. Okay. As I told you, this deck is really not easy to play, so I don't master it to perfection, but I hope I can at least explain how you're supposed to play the game. So this is a paladin, so most of the time they're gonna play the Trog and buff it. Ha, that's sad. I don't think you ever keep the Owl, and you don't keep School Spirits against paladin, because they usually don't do very wide boards, but strong boards. And Tour Guides, you always keep it, obviously. It's absolutely crazy how good it is in this deck, just like Tamsin. There are so many Tamsin. This is Tamsin. The new hero I was just talking about it is Tamsin, and this is also Tamsin. So yeah, also yeah, you should play Tamsin, especially this skin if you have it, because like you're kind of almost dead, and then boom, you transition to your hero, you're literally dead. That's cool. Okay, there's the Dreadful Trog. It's actually a huge mistake by our opponent. Yeah, if you can kill them, do it immediately before they buff it. But that's... I'm a bit surprised that the copy doesn't go through if you kill it. But yeah, if you kill it, it doesn't spawn another one. Hopefully, otherwise it would be like impossible to deal with. But yeah, try to kill it whenever you can. So that is a bit sad that we don't get to draw on turn 2. But we got rid of the Trog, which, as I told you, is one of the biggest threats of this deck. Okay, so they are kind of aggro. I guess we can just backfire. There we go. Easy. The rod on turn 2 rods? Would have been cool to have backfire after the rod. But yeah, if I had the rod, I would have probably not backfired to keep it for after for an instant proc. But yeah, if they don't immediately destroy it, they are gonna have a lot of trouble. And then there's the second one. That sounds for now like a good start. Okay. Rod, obviously. This is the card that I struggled with the most with this deck. I never managed to keep track of the spells I've used. I think I've used Fire and Shadow for now. It should draw me 2, which is sad, because it doesn't proc this. Also remember that Tamsin only works if the spell costs 1 or more. So if it was discounted, it's not gonna come back to your hand. This is the kind of stuff that you need to know. I mean, you do the mistake once or twice and then you remember it, but I did it for you, so I'm giving you the tip. Yeah, Morg is of course absolutely broken. I think it's gonna be nerfed. I don't even know why it's a 2/4 with so good, like 2/4 for 2 is already insane. And then you give it this insane, like, yeah, whatever. I think we multicaster to get the board a bit. Contest the board, because just tapping and then I'm not doing anything is a bit sad. So let's do this. I'm drawing 2 cards. Yes. And I could trade the Owl right now to proc the last tick here, but the question is it? How good is this weapon? +1/+1 to the minions in your hand. I think it's more important for me to go on. No, I don't use this. Next turn I can already kill my Owl. Or I can use Morg in 2 full-blown evils. Or even Tamsin already, but yeah. Tamsin is also great for the weapon, but my hand is a bit too full right now. Come on, what you got for us, Paladin? Yeah, as I told you, the biggest threat... Okay, +1/+1. That's the +8/+8? No, okay. That's not very threatening, and also I can... Okay, not anymore, but I could have just used full-blown evil to deal with it. Okay. There's not a lot of pressure. So I could try to draw. I guess I could pressure them with Tamsin, but it's also really cool. If you keep Tamsin for the end, you can use the Phylactery twice. And that is, of course, devastating. I guess I can just use Full-Blown Evil and Portal Coil. It's a bit sad because I wanted to keep it for the Morgue, but it's really good on this board. Wait, what? Did I miscount? I think I miscounted. Well, I guess I can put down the Morgue then. Oh my god. That is very bad. And I cannot... Yeah, I completely misplayed this. And I cannot use my hero power because I'm gonna overdraw. Wait, no, there's this. I can. Yeah, I don't have that... like, that much experience with the deck, but I can tell you it's gonna be very rewarding if you know how to play it. Like, look at this. Next turn, everything's gonna cost less, and I can play... Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a better Viper target. Next turn, I can play Rune Mithril Rod and Tamsin, and maybe even draw with something else. It's just insane. Like, look, my hand is gonna cost absolutely nothing. Okay. So it looks like I need to play a bit of stuff. Guess I can start with this. This. And Tamsin, yeah. If I draw these 3/3s, it's really good because it gives me a proc. See, that's a proc. So I proc the weapon. That counts like a drawn card, and that's absolutely insane. Okay, the owl costs 4. Tamsin costs 0. That's insane. I don't think there's a lot of threats. Next turn I can just use Backfire to complete. I think we just want to deal with this. I mean, it's a bit expensive, but I want to keep this for draw. Yeah. And it costs 0, so it's not going to come back on Tamsin anyway. So yeah, your way of killing your own board with all the 1/1s, you will need to trade the card once. So you summon, I think, 4 imps. And then you can just use Skull Spirits. Most of the time that's enough, but if it costs 1 or more, it's a shadow spell, so you can use 2 of them. If you need to kill the Tamsin as well, for instance. But yeah, right now, I'm in no rush as long as I can deal with the board. This is getting serious. A 7/7. Okay, a Thalnos. So if I destroy my owl... I mean, they don't play Mutanus, so there's no rush, but... once it's done, I guess. Wait, Thalnos and this? This deals... No, I just can use... I can just use this twice. You can't... I don't think you can hear the Loth on the video, but... Actually, Loth's in a pretty funny way. Okay, and I cannot hero power, but I can just drop this little Thanos here. Deal 2. And yeah, we want to keep all of this. We want to keep 1 Grimoires for the board, like with the Morgue or something like this. And yeah, the second one is not all the time, but most of the time you will want to use it to sacrifice your owl. Because sometimes it can be hard to kill it with Molten Coil and Skull Spirits, like any other. Like, this is just an easy way of killing it. Okay, and Thalnos goes down. There's the Viper. Yeah, I'm definitely using it on this. There's the Mortal Coil. I use Viper, then I draw. Boom. And now I guess I can kill my owl. Because we only need the imps. And the phylactery, and I think that's it, because everything costs 0 here. So let's draw. There's the imp, so we trade it. See, it summons two 1/1s, but if you trade it only once, it summons 4, so that's already 32 damage if the board is empty. Okay, another 3/3, another 3/3. Yeah, if you have a deck tracker, it's really cool because you can keep track of... Okay, we have the phylactery, so now we actually just need to draw the last one. So let's kill the owl right now and deal 8 face as well. And I think I'm gonna draw with this. Now the only goal is to find the imps. The little 1 mana spell for the imps, and then we have 1 billion damage, but they might concede right now. Considering the deck. Unless they want to make a huge board. Okay, no. I mean, that's already huge, but... It only can tank 16 damage. That's a bit more annoying. But it should still be good enough. Let's start with it. No, I think that's game, right? Start with this. Yeah, I don't have to use this. Okay. Is it the last card? Of course. I'm pretty sure this is lethal. So, now what you have to do. You play Tamsin, Wicked Shipment, the Phylactery. Of course, you choose the Death Rattle of the Owl, which all of your board now has. Then you can use it another time, which is absolutely broken. And you just kill the board, I guess. If I just use 2 School Spirits, is that enough? I should do this first, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you do this. And that's good. That's game. Look at all the damage. Look at all the damage. I could do it in any way. That was just way too much damage. -8, -8, -8. Probably many other times -8. Yeah, if I killed these 3 again, that would have been -1632. That's just way too much damage. Yeah, there you go. That's basically how you play the game. Again, please remember this is hard to play. So if you want a beginner-friendly deck, don't waste your dust on this. I hope I gave you the insights on how the deck works. If you have any question whatsoever, ask me in the comments. I know it's not very easy to understand or easy to play depending on your opponent. Remember your weaknesses, try to play around them. Good luck on your games. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video wasn't too long. Take care. See ya around.